Hello again out there, YouTube. Looks like we're going to be doing some base coat work on a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I think it's a 2011. I already got the sealer on. That's kind of boring, just putting sealer on, so I went ahead and skipped up to the base coat. Now you'll notice on the base coat this time, I actually went ahead and put a first coat of base coat on with my paper. You'll see the paper blocking off the door and on the fender, my blend panels. Sometimes I do that just to keep from getting such a, an edge buildup. There was a small primer spot on each blend panel. A couple places that was fixed, repaired, prepped. So you'll see we take the paper off and get a little base coat on those spots. Using the Matco HVLP gun. It's a really good gun for base coat. I clear like some bumpers and stuff with it, testing out some different pressures, and and I'm sure you could get a really nice job with clear. I mean, which I have on just some small panels, but haven't played around with it on larger jobs like this size. It does pretty well though. I do base coat with it sometimes. Just change things up, something a little different. Okay, looks like we're going to go ahead and peel our paper off of the blend panels. You'll see the little primer spot there on the door, and of course always tacking my blend panels. Make sure to try to keep any overspray I can off of it before I put another coat on it. Actually, this time I didn't put no 222, no wet bed or nothing on this job. It's white. It's just sometimes one of those things. Some solid colors, they blend out well, and if they look good, and sometimes you just don't need it. So notice my gun pointing back towards the hood again, just barely hitting those blend panels a little bit. Just easing a little bit on them primer spots. I think it's right under 2 bar. It's probably around 25 psi, somewhere around there. This thing does have really good transfer efficiency. I mean, it gets the material on the panel. Really does a really nice job. Just medium wet coats. Again, not trying to get it wet like clear, nothing, but do want to get it to lay down. And it wouldn't matter if it was metallic or pearl or whatever. You kind of spray them the same way. Now just coming on out just a little bit around where the primer area is, and later I'll blend it some more on out through there. This job did turn out pretty clean, just a few pieces of dirt in it. A couple little, I think, last thing I was looking right before I got ready to clear, and I found a couple little pieces of dirt, so I went ahead and took a 1,000 grit sponge and went ahead and knocked the tops of those down a little bit real quick, and then finished tacking it and got ready for clear. Put a little more base coat on it naturally after I sanded them a little bit, but yeah, after that I got ready for clear. Okay, now you'll notice I'm starting to blend more on the tops of the edges and the fender, back through the fender more, and across the top of that fender edge I hit it just a little bit further than usual. Well, not than usual, I mean than my previous two coats, a little bit further. And just, I will keep on trying to put medium wet coats of clear here, make sure I get it covered as good as I need to. And then the last thing, I did go and turn the lights off and use my color matching light just to look on a couple of areas like the primer spots, and I kind of look over the edges real good. That way when you prep, if you sand, got a little sand through somewhere sometimes on corners or something like that, every once in a while try to see that and get a little base on there and get that taken care of, no problem with the solvent base. You can see I start to get this fender, get it covered. I'll come through that door, you'll see I'll blend it further, much further back. And you just step off in intervals a little bit further each time until, last thing, you'll see how I really get out through there with it. And that's pretty much it. Checking the bumper and getting it covered. The Matco gun does really well. Alright, looks like it's time for some clear. This is the multi-mix clear system. It's a medium solids. So it'll get 2 coats of clear. Then you'll see just kind of a medium wet coat to start with. Not trying to get it super slick, just trying to get an even medium wet coat on this first coat. And setting my pressure a little bit. Probably cranked it up a little bit. And just laying the clear down. Using the Sada, that's the Sada 5000 RP, a 1.3 fluid tip. It's a really good gun for clear. I like it a lot. I guess guns, I mean, you got different ones. Some of them's better for different orange peel. This orange peel's a little bit different than, you know, the previous one. They're all different. So the guns that you know that you try to match orange peel with, some of them's bigger orange peel, and some of them's, you know, got a slicker finish. And that is the goal, to try to match this thing. Not only, you know, your color match, but you don't want everything to be super slick like you just sand and buffed it, you know, because you're going to have the panels that you do that to. It's going to look really a little bit different than what the orange peel's on a vehicle. So, and sometimes you try to get an orange peel match like that, and then sometimes it gets a little too slick, or maybe not quite as slick as you like. But most of the time, if you get something, you know, very similar, you get it outside, it's going to look really good. So, you know, but we try to, I guess as painters, we try to match the finish as close as we can. And I'd say that's going to be about it. You know, just finish laying the clear down, this first coat, and you'll get a look at it. And then literally just went out, mixed up the clear. That was my waiting period on this job. Temperature in the booth somewhere probably around 70 degrees. But I literally went out and mixed up the other clear enough to do the rest of the second coat. Come back in and started clearing, you know. So you don't want to clear over things too fast. You just have to get used to your materials and the clear, you know, what you're putting on, the thickness of it, you know, how long, you know. You don't want to be clearing over stuff too fast, and you're going to have problems with dieback and things like that. There's the first coat on, and looks like here we go with the second coat. Always, sometimes I flush my guns in between coats just to make sure they're good and clean. So a lot of times you'll see me pull that trigger a time or two. Just that way, if there's any solvents or anything where I flush the gun or anything, it'll blow that out away from the vehicle. You don't want to do that and have it go in to the clear that you just cleared. That will create little spots. So yeah, not a good thing to do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just laying down this second coat of clear. Now you can see I'm getting a little heavier this round, trying to get it to slick up a little bit more. The Sada's a nice gun. I like it. The 5000. I have the 4000, the 5000. But I think that's pretty much going to wrap this up. I'll just keep finishing doing the clearing and give a brief look at it, I think, and that'll wrap this job up. Thank you for watching. Hope maybe someone enjoyed this, or maybe even helped someone a little bit, picked up a tip or something other.